right, here we go back at it again. We're continuing with our Breeders' Cup coverage, day number 2. This is going to be part 2. We're only going to focus on 3 dirt races here in this particular sequence. A couple of things of note. Obviously, you know the big deal. Sovereignty out of the Breeders' Cup Classic. No surprise, we know how cautious they've been, right? And they made a decision after he spiked that fever twice. So that horse is out, makes that race, I think, a lot more difficult to handicap. We'll get into that. But right now, we're going to start with 3 dirt races. So we have 6 races left that we haven't talked about. Going to focus on the 3 dirt races coming up, races 7, 9, and 11. Race number 7, that's going to be the $2 million Breeders' Cup Distaff. Oh, I love looking at races like this. And this one, there's a lot of great talent in here. We can start to the inside with Nitrogen. This is just a really honest 3-year-old filly, and she always shows up and brings her game, and we'll see if it's good enough. She'll have a nice little stalking position, and we'll just have to find out if that's something that she can actually handle. Then from that point, we move to Sarawak Rim. Don't know much about this runner. Blinkers on, so we just can't really do anything with it. We just throw it out. Click out. That runner will be sitting just off the pace. Great closing kick, stepping up a bit in class, but I think that she's definitely got the ability to seal the deal. Scylla is a runner that kind of been vacillating from 2 turns and back to 1 turn. Now going to try this 1.125 distance again after running behind Nitrogen and Jin. I think she figures. I don't know if she's good enough, though. Scottish Lassie is going to have to use that speed, but I don't think she's fast enough for it to be a factor, but she's probably going to try. Elise Verite, a turf runner. I just don't see it on the dirt, but Japanese horses, great pedigree, just great form. They might make some noise. Jin's a horse that was the winner last time out. Got out there on the front end and showed some speed. I don't expect them to do the same thing coming up on Saturday because of the presence of the 8, Seismic Beauty. There's no one in the race that can keep up with her. There's no doubt about it. She's the fastest one in the entire field. If she breaks on top, it's going to be a problem for everybody else. Majestic Oops needs something to happen up front, needs a little target to run at. If she gets that, she can make a move. Gun Song, she can sit in the perfect spot. She's got the ability to make some things happen here, and she'll sit just off the pace. Her buyers have not quite been good enough, but she's got the right running style, and she's got some talent. Dry Powder has some speed, but not nearly quick enough to handle what's happening with Seismic Beauty. Darth Vader, this is the one that really threatens the favorite, because Darth Vader with Johnny V, who's riding lights out, will sit just off the pace and has a really nice closing kick. I gotta be honest, I think that she might not, I know it's gonna sound crazy after the way she ran against Torpedo Anna. I'm not quite sure if this is gonna be her day with that post out there. Regaled, you know, I really wanted to like this 13 because her closing kick is incredible, but she's just been facing such inferior competition that I don't think she can handle this level at all. So I'm going to do something that, well, I don't think I've ever really done before. I'm going chalk in a lot of these races today. Seismic Beauty, I just think that she's too fast, and I think she's been home this whole time. She's been chilling. Bob's got her ready. She's been off. She took a break, cranked up. She's going to pop out of there on fire, and if anybody wants to go with her, it's going to be to their demise. Seismic Beauty runs them off their feet in the Breeders' Cup Distaff. Then we move on. Okay, the big race, the $7 million Breeders' Cup Classic. And here we have our situation Saturday at Del Mar. It's 1.25 miles. It's going to be race number 9, and we feature 9 runners. We initially had 10 runners, but we have the big scratch of Sovereignty. Man, of course, that does take a little bit of the wind out of our sails for a race we thought was going to be one of the best classic matchups in years. And now we don't get a chance to see that. So, it's going to be interesting. You know, we also don't have a tremendous amount of pace in this race. Fierceness to the inside, once again, breaking from the number 1 hole. That shouldn't be a problem for them. They'll be in a good spot. And this is a really tough horse if he's ready to run. Baeza. Look, I love John Sheriff's, and the horse might be rounding into form. I just don't like him. I don't think he's good enough, especially at 1.25 miles. I don't think he wants that. So we'll see what happens. Nevada Beach, speed. I don't know really why the horse is in the race, but hey, it'll be fun. But you need some pace, and I think they're going to offer that along with the 4, Contrary Thinking, who also has some pace. Not nearly class enough to do any damage, but has some speed, and we'll see what they do with it. Forever Young. This is a really honest horse. I mean, really honest. This horse does not mess around. Every single time, they pretty much show up. Sovereignty is out. Sierra Leone. This is your defending Breeders' Cup Classic champion, a horse that just is so honest, always runs well, always in the money, always brings the A game. I'm going to take a stab against Sierra Leone, even though the price is pretty good at 8-1. I think it comes down now with Sovereignty being out of the race, and he's just going to have too much work to do, and there's not really enough speed to set it up for him. Then there's Mind Frame. This horse is intriguing because he does have good early speed. He can put himself in the right position. And he didn't have a chance to run last time out. He got caught up in a bunch of nonsense there to the inside, almost got hurt. But I think he's going to figure early on. Late, I don't know. Journalism, okay, look. We know this horse is an athletic horse who loves to run. Never been out of the money. They changed the jockey to Jose Ortiz. That's supposed to be an improvement. So that means the horse should not be as far off the pace as he has been. And that makes him intriguing. Antiquarian got lucky last time out. I don't expect this horse to figure. But with Luis Saez in the irons, he'll be in that second flight. He won't be too far off the pace. So when I look at these runners and I say, okay, I see my pace scenario here. I see my runners. We lose Sovereignty, and that's a pretty big deal, and that sucks big time. I really like Forever Young. I spent a lot of time looking at the race replays. I went back and looked at all of these replays for this runner, going all the way back to the UAE Derby from 24, then to the Kentucky Derby, where Sierra Leone was leaning all over him in the stretch. Then I watched, of course, the Breeders' Cup Classic. Had a little bit of traffic and just didn't have enough to get to Sierra Leone in the stretch. Then comes back. I watched the Dubai World Cup. Another one had a little traffic to the inside, then finally swung out. And a hit show just ran right by him. Then took a break, came back, and just crushed in that 1 1/8 event back on October the 1st. I like him because he's honest. I like him because he won't be too far off the pace, and we don't have much pace in the race, and I don't want a horse like Sierra Leone who's going to have to run everyone down, and there's really not going to be much to run at. Forever Young is versatile. He can put himself anywhere. And I just think he's just a game horse that likes to go. And if I can get, I'm not going to get 6-1. I know that now. I'll take 9-2. And I love that. Forever Young is definitely the pick, and I'm going to go heavy on the horse in the Classic. From there, we're going to move on and wrap it up with the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. $1 million is your purse here. Now, this is a situation where there's so many horses that I wanted to like. I loved Will Take It to the Inside. Love the running style. Love the fact that I think a mile is exactly what he wants. He's just hasn't been facing good enough horses. It's a huge step up, so I couldn't do it. Goal Oriented, another one. I like this horse. I was a little concerned that he was in such a prominent position in the last 2 races and couldn't seal the deal. And I'm not quite sure if the turnback is what he wants. Nisos. Man, this horse is an absolute beast. And now he's had a bit of a freshening, and his acceleration is just head and shoulders above the rest of the runners. Mystic Dan, yeah, I like the horse, and I think the mile is okay for him. I don't know, he doesn't excite me. Tumba Rumba is another one that's intriguing and will be up close. Is not quick enough to dictate, but it's going to be right there close, trying to push them and keep them honest. Full Serrano, your defending champion. Up there on the front end last year, and they were going pretty fast, and this one was able to hold on. They'll be there in the same spot again, but they won't be alone because Citizen Bull only knows one way to go, and if he breaks on top, he's going to be out there. Juan Hernandez will give him a great ride, and so he probably won't push the pace, but he'll be sitting just off of it. Initially I thought, this race is going to set up perfectly for Chance or McPatrick, and then I was like, man, he probably wins this, but I'm like, nah, I don't want it. Touch of Destiny, I have no idea what to do with this horse. I don't even care. White Barrio, another horse that loves to step up on big days. And the mile is not really a problem for him, but I just don't see it on this particular day coming off the layoff. So we circle back to where I believe everything starts and everything ends. And I really believe it is all about this horse right here, Nisos. First off, this horse, the mile is perfect. Okay, the horse has already shown that he loves Del Mar. He shipped out one time. That race at Churchill Downs was a great race, and it was off of a long layoff. That horse hadn't run in over a year. and he was ready to rock, and he almost pulled that off. So I think the layoff and the sloppy track, and it just had to overcome too many things, and he was still right there in the mix. Came right back home, crushed in the triple bend. That doesn't count. Field of 4, it's a paid workout. But then in the San Diego, going a mile and a 16th, that was a bit more challenging. So what I like about the horse is coming back off the layoff, turning back in distance. I think the mile for him is absolutely perfect. A great series of workouts. I think he gets everything he needs here. He's going to sit just off the pace, and when it's time to go, he pushes the button, and he'll be gone. I'm sorry that it's chalky. That's not my problem, but it is what it is with these races. So there you go. We start off with the Distaff, and we don't think they can catch Seismic Beauty. We go to the Classic, and we don't think they can hold off Forever Young. And then we go to the Dirt Mile, and they can't hold off, and they can't outsprint Nisos when they turn for home. So hopefully we'll get our value with Forever Young. And so in these situations, we're not necessarily doing major win wagers. We like these horses, and so we know they're going to be short prices, so we're going to be using them in our exotics, our pick 4 and our pick 5, where we go heavy on those wagers. One more to do. We're going to take a look at the last 3 turf races on the card, and then we'll come back and do a full recap of all the selections for both days, so you know what we're working with. All right, that's how we do it here on Horse Race Bets, Breeders' Cup Bets. And in the meantime, until next time, in between time, I'm Ken Rudulph here. We'll see you. Good luck and enjoy whatever you're into. We'll be right back.